What's going on, Clippers fans? Welcome to the emergency that we kind of saw coming live stream. The Clippers just traded James Harden for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. In what has been a very weird 16 hours or whatever it's been. The James Harden era in Los Angeles is over. We are now in the Darius Garland era, or still the Kawhi era. We got No in the chat. If you're listening to this pod, thank you for listening. If you'd like to catch us live, so you can see our kind of confused and stunned reactions to this, find us at youtube.com/@ClippersPodcast. I will be putting this out as audio. Adam and Will are going to hop on at some point. I think it was the best we could probably get for Harden too. Sorry, this is crazy. What a weird situation. And I don't mean weird and bad. I just mean I don't think any of us thought on Monday afternoon that we would get this situation. Someone's asking, is it official? Shams tweeted it. I know that doesn't make it official. I feel I'm bummed. I get why James Harden did this. I'm a little bummed because I guess I thought it would end like differently. I don't know how differently. I don't blame James at all. We have a point guard. The Clippers think they have a point guard now, who's going to be that cornerstone piece. Darius Garland and Zoo are the two main guys on the books right now. Shams saying this is a win now opportunity for Harden, and Garland, two-time All-Star, gets to be kind of the present and future, as they say. I like this trade for both parties involved. I think it was crazy if you thought the Clippers were going to give up anything. John Cooperman. First of all, John Cooperman, hello. I haven't seen you in a minute. Harden, they worked together on this. There's been nothing, there's been no animosity from either side, right? It's not an ugly divorce. It seems like they really worked together to make this happen, right? We heard that Harden didn't want to play for the Pels, or what was the other team? That was the funniest part of the Tomer article. He didn't want to play for the Pels or someone else. It seems like a mutual split. John the Learner asking, did the trade happen? Yes. Shams tweeted out 6 minutes ago, the Los Angeles Clippers are trading James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Prolific swap of the star point guards. I'm hyped. Darius Garland seems cool. He does have pretty fucked up toes. He's had 2 toe injuries on each foot. One of them was turf toe, which, if you know anything about turf toe, has a way cuter name than what actually happens to you, because turf toe sounds like a goddamn nightmare. And then he also has a sprained big toe. I'm assuming Adam's probably live on Clippers Talk. I think he has more of the medical talk for y'all over there, and I think Will's going to join at some point. It is 2 toes. He has some injury stuff. That's where we're at. That's part of the reason why the Clippers didn't have to give up a pick for this, I'm assuming, right? Adam was talking Adam wants to see what the physicals look like. So both teams are going to be pretty diligent on the physicals. yeah, just a weird couple of days, right? I know people are excited that Harden is gone. They dislike the ISO ball, and we're getting. If you haven't dove into the pick and roll numbers for Darius Garland, they're comparable to James Harden. I'm not saying he's as good as James Harden at playing point guard, but at doing the pick and roll specifically, Darius Garland averages more possessions per game as a pick and roll ball handler than James Harden. It's not by a lot. The turnover rate is pretty much the same. The points per possession is pretty much the same. From an offensive perspective, the Clippers don't have a bunch of adjustments to do. Yes, there's going to be, based on the stats, 9 fewer ISO possessions per game from our starting point guard. Harden averaged the most, 10 ISO possessions per game. Darius Garland literally averages, I think, 1.3. So theoretically, for the people who wanted more ball movement, this helps facilitate that because we're removing 9 ISO possessions per game from the equation. We're adding someone who's very good at the pick and roll. And Darius Garland can catch and shoot really well. I don't think Darius Garland is necessarily better at a lot of things than James Harden. I don't mean this as a disrespect to Darius Garland, but he is a better catch and shooter. So now I think, and again, I'm speaking, 7 minutes after the trade was announced. In my head, this opens up a few more wrinkles for the Clippers because they have a more willing catch and shooter running the show while still being able to rely on the pick and roll. I'm really excited for it. We're going to talk about the defense. We'll talk about the defense for sure. I'm excited about the pick and roll. I think this is a really interesting time for Zoo, right? Zoo got to have a great mentor in James Harden. They talked about it post game a couple times. They would practice after practice on the pick and roll. Now Zoo is going to have to do a lot more on his end for the pick and roll. I also think Zoo's going to maybe get more touches because I just don't think Darius Garland is going to have as high of a usage rate as James Harden. So this opens up the lanes for more ball movement. Collins is playing, so the shooting is very real, which I love. Roger Rabbit is asking, will he play tomorrow? Probably not. He's technically on the Cavs injury report. So he is hurt, which that sucks. He's actively injured. He hasn't played for, let me see what Tomer put out. Hyped on that second round pick, which is very funny. Yeah, where'd it go? He's missed the last 9 games. Darius Garland has missed the last 9 games. So I would assume he's missing tomorrow. I think the NBA would be pissed off if he had, because he has an actual injury designation for the game tomorrow. Darius Garland does. So I don't think he's going to be playing tomorrow. He's technically actually hurt for the Cavs. So I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. There's obviously some defensive limitations here. He's a smaller guard. I'm not going to pretend like that's not an issue. I'm interested to see what the starting backcourt looks like next year because I don't know how a Bradley Beal, Darius Garland starting backcourt looks. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, obviously the biggest hurdles for this Clippers team with Darius Garland is going to be on the defensive end. The offensive end, I don't think we'll see after the initial growing pains period. I don't think we'll see a huge change in how the offense works. There's going to be tweaks. There's going to be just as much pick and roll, probably more to start off just to get Darius Garland comfortable to running the pick and roll with Zoo in a game scenario. And then we'll go from there. I'm excited. The Clippers have a guy on the books now, along with Zoo, 27, 28. It's like there's pieces there. We have things are working. You add John Collins to that mix, and I like the scaffolding of the Clippers after this Kawhi era. That being said, James Harden's tenure for the Clippers changed a lot of people's minds. I don't think we saw a bunch of tweets about it today. There was a really good one that I want to find where it was like, yeah, he changed my mind, right? Like in terms of a regular season guy, there's few people I would want kind of leading the team than James Harden. He was an engine for this Clippers team. He was available for this Clippers team. Like 55 to save the season against Detroit. It's man, it's a really weird loss. Like he did a lot for the Clippers. We had the training camps, like there were good vibes. Emil Harb said he shared that tweet or that quote from that dickhead from Dallas who went on the James Harden tirade. And he said, "It's so funny to me that everyone outside the Clippers sphere is clowning James Harden because they don't like him. Meanwhile, every Clipper fan fully appreciates what he did for the franchise last 2.5 years and understand why it's best to go separate ways." I don't think every fan appreciates what he did. Some people just hate James Harden. That's the way she goes. But I fall into the camp of people who has genuine appreciation for what Harden did over these 2.5 years. It's way different than when Paul George left, right? Maybe not having a podcast helped James Harden, but like we saw him give a shit about this team. We saw him work after practice to make guys like Giannis better. He organized team things to do in the summer, right? Like there was training camps at ASU and things like that. So the Clippers are losing a leader. I know the common thing about the Clippers is who's the leader? I don't see a leader in that locker room. It was probably the guy who was organizing off-season team workouts and working with young guys after practice. So there's a locker room loss here, I think, for sure, which is difficult to deal with. There is personally, there's also like that guy always wants to play and he's only going to sit out if he physically can't move. That if you're a Clippers fan, you got to appreciate, right? The man would play whenever he possibly could. The playoffs were up and down. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that went as we all wanted it to go. There were some stinkers, absolutely. But that's the thing you have to deal with James Harden as your number one or number two, whatever he was. 1.5 between Kawhi. So as a fan, this is a weird loss. It's a bobblehead curse. If some people have brought up, if you want to remain a Clipper, don't get a bobblehead. Hopefully Chris Dunn stays. But I like the move. I think it was going to happen inevitably. Just getting a fucking Apple receipt for shit that I didn't buy, I don't think. The timing sucks. Like the team has been crushing it. I understand why people are feeling some type of way about the timing of it. And so, but I think it was inevitable. Adam Osland, how the heck are you?
What's up?
Welcome to the new era.
Yeah, I'm excited. A little bit of I felt better about it after last night, waking up this morning, learning more about Darius Garland, his defensive potential. I think James Harden was a really good Clipper. I think he fulfilled his end of the bargain. He wanted to get paid. Wasn't going to happen here. Clippers were able to accommodate him while taking care of themselves at the same time. And now it's really just up to the health of Darius Garland. And considering it's not the same toe that he had surgery on, I feel decent about that.
Yeah, decent, I think, is a great way to put it. Because I'm kind of like, all right, like, I think it'll be okay. That Mexican Nara says, I feel like we should have gotten a first. I don't know. We weren't getting a first with
He's
Darius
10
Garland.
years younger.
Yeah, like, I thought it was funny we got a second. Yeah, I was just kind of someone put a nice quote in here. Yeah, call me Joel's. Harden was awesome for us. We can appreciate the time and not be salty. If you love something, set them free. I hope he wins this year with Cleveland. F it. Like that's the thing. That the exit between this and Paul George is obviously so different. There's one fewer podcast in the mix. And someone asked early in the chat, like, oh, does this make the Clippers look bad? They work together. Like this was Harden asking for, can I get another 2 for 80? Clippers were like, well, no. Let's find you somewhere that you want to go before that happens, right? Like this was an amicable split.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said last night. I don't think there's going to be any bad blood here. I also don't think the Clippers are going to be, pushed into doing something they don't want to. But if they can find something that works for both sides, for both parties, then that's fine. And this Clippers team is still going to be really good and has potential to continue to try to climb up the standings here. Now, if something changes and all of a sudden other guys want out and it turns into some big sell-off, that would change things. But as of right now, I'm just expecting this to be the one guy in, one guy out swap and see how quickly Darius Garland can get up to speed and get back to playing.
Yeah, I think one thing, LA Clippers film pointed this out, and I think it's a good point, where because of how the aprons are set up and all the new CBA stuff, it's really rare for a trade like this to be able to line up, right? Like it's a straight 1-for-1 swap. It helps, both teams don't feel weird about it financially. And the caliber of player that each side is getting, like this is a rare trade, I think, with how this new CBA works. And I think it almost fit too well to not happen once it was first reported.
Yeah, I was curious to see how each guy would be valued because I think there's a really interesting case for either side. And I guess that's why it was almost just 1-for-1 and only 1 second. Because initially, Chris Mannix had the report that the Cleveland Cavaliers were trying to get more out of the Clippers. I don't think that was going to happen with the first round pick or a pick swap.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, one guy's a longer contract and is younger, but it is more injury prone. The other guy's older but more reliable. I think it's a fair swap. There's risk for both sides. The Clippers with Darius Garland, it's a risk of can he stay healthy, and that contract does go past the summer of 2027. I did bring up earlier that it is expiring.
Right.
The 27-28 season. So, if worst case scenario, it didn't work out, you might be able to get off it just because it's a 1 year expiring that last year. And therefore your 2027 books, you might be able to find other ways to maneuver, and they still have enough for a max slot, at least one max slot in the summer of 2027. So the hope is that Darius Garland becomes the player that he just was this past season, who played 75 games. I think people are overdoing it a little bit with how much they're talking about how injured he's been, especially because different types of injuries, a broken jaw, like it hasn't just been, his toe issues going on for 5 or 6 years or anything like that. It's been 1 year of this.
Right. Farty Cake's noticing that I didn't even change out of my work clothes. Yeah, I just got home when it happened. Also, thank you for consuming so much Clippers content. That was like 6 hours ago. Yeah, people are asking if Beal leaves. Is Kawhi next? This is a funny trade, A, because it's so out of left field, but it's also like it's a win now-ish and shore up the future trade, which I don't know if people really budgeted for, right? Like people thought the trades were either going to let's tear it all down, let's move CP3 and Kobe Brown so we can convert the youth, right? Like there wasn't really a middle ground. And this trade is a very much like it could go either way. Like
yeah, I think this is better than Trae Young, LaMelo, Ja Morant, stuff we talked about. Bring in one of these young guys, but there's risk with all of them, or there's blind spots in their game. And Darius Garland, his risk is injury and he's undersized, but he works hard defensively and he's a good shooter and he's still young enough to overcome these injuries with his toes. He's 26. He just turned 26 in January too. So,
oh damn,
yeah, he just turned 26. So, I think there's a lot to like about it.
Yes, there, and that's like seeing it reported first last night. I was watching the game with Will, and we were kind of like, "Oh, that's weird." Like, I think I like that. Mostly, it was just being stunned that that was just going to happen. But the more that I look at the pick and roll numbers and stuff like that, it's like, okay, I don't think the offense is going to take a huge step back. The defense, obviously, that's going to need to get figured out. I think this does change the Beal outlook for next year. I don't know how comfortable I'd feel with a Beal, Darius, Garland starting backcourt defensively.
Beal's owed what, $5 million?
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like pretty good about it. I like that we have guys on the book. We have two main guys on the books now for 27-28, which is Zoo and Darius Garland. That's the only main guys on the books, and hopefully John Collins later.
Yeah. It's probably, bird in the hand better than two in the bush type of thing, with waiting to see if you get a couple of these max contract guys in 2027. Well, now you have one of your guys, assuming this isn't something where they try to flip him in the near future or anything like that.
Bro, I just got back from work. We can't do another trade on top of it.
I am going to be wondering about the physical coming up. That's kind of a big deal. But I think he does check enough of the boxes. And it's not just, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, it's not just the Clippers that are getting set up for 2027. So there's a lot of competition that's going to be for guys who have been teams that are clearing their books and getting ready. Like, this plan it's not that unique to the Clippers anymore. They may have been one of the first, but even the Sacramento Kings are trying to make sure their books are clean for 2027 now.
We got a super chat from Stump saying Clippers getting younger is always a good thing. Welcome, Garland. Yes, let's be excited. We have another super chat. This one's a little sadder. From Clipper Nick. Bought a Norm Harden coffee and CP3 jersey the last 3 years. Am I the problem? You are not the problem, Nick. My littlest nephew was here last year, and we went to the Clippers-Cavs game, which was insane, and he bought a Harden jersey. Thankfully, it was 50% off, so... and yes, welcome, Darius. Pitbull saying Chuck Mocker prefers Clippers over hanging out with dinosaur bones at LA Natural History Museum. Depends. People are wondering this isn't a done deal. But I think it's probably going to happen.
I think it's only not happening if guys fail physicals at this point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And the physicals, like you said, going to be pretty interesting. I mean, it is basically a 1-for-1 swap, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Oh, God. The sports guru asked something. Is it a dumbass question? I'm getting a lot of congrats texts from non-Clippers people, which feels weird. I also think that Cavs fans are kind of, I've seen some consternation about this, which they can deal with it over there. But yeah, people are asking if we move Kawhi, like, is Zoo and Kawhi next? Like, I don't know.
I don't think, I think it would be a similar situation where Kawhi would have to agree to want to be moved. I don't think they're going to blindside him.
No,
I just don't.
They didn't blindside Harden.
The Blake Griffin thing. Kawhi Leonard represents the first guy to really choose the Clippers to make them a destination franchise. And unless there's some Godfather offers coming their way for any more guys here, I wouldn't expect a lot more, but it really depends on how they feel about it, I guess. And judging off of last night, I know guys were surprised, but we'll see. I don't want to look past anything.
Yeah, right? Like, how many of us thought on Monday that we were going to have Darius Garland for Harden straight up swap? We don't know what the hell's coming. Robert Lehrer asking, did Harden initiate this transaction or did the Clippers start it? I think it was a little of both. I think it was.
No, it was Harden. That's been reported about like 3 different people. They said it was James Harden. The Clippers were surprised by it, asking out a couple of weeks ago.
They're surprised. Yeah,
this was not their plan, but they had to adjust, and they got something good out of it.
And they got something good out of it. And again, I like that it's not ill will. It wasn't like, I guess our last reference for that could be different. William Updike.
What's going on, guys?
Just basking in this Darius Garland trade. How are you feeling about it?
Good. I mean, you never know which way these things are going to go when something seems so obvious. Either it really is happening or it's a smokescreen for something else. But I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, people are now asking us if everyone else is going to get traded. We don't know. We didn't know this was going to happen.
Sell high on the Kawhi All-Star appearance.
Oh, yeah, Kawhi's an All-Star now, which is well-deserved, but just kind of another, like, whiplash part of the season. Yeah, I respect the front office for sticking to their plan of no old guys on the books making a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Arth asking, so they didn't want to pay PG Norman, now Harden. Who will they pay for? Well, they're paying Darius Garland.
Jeez.
So
the guy they just brought in, who's 26 and making $40 million.
Yeah, they're probably going to pay John Collins. Will, who do you think the Clippers select with that second-round pick?
I don't care.
The second-round pick is so funny to me. Fuck it.
Hey, they got a couple of second-round picks balling right now, and Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders. So
that's very true. Will, what would you go with? What was your favorite Harden memory? Since we're out of the Harden era now.
Oh man, I don't know. I need more time to think about it. But just the way this entire season, how pivotal he was in turning this whole thing around is like absolutely nuts. But I'll have to reflect some more on it to pick one specific one. But I mean, it's a bummer because he's a guy that no matter what, like anytime any sort of trade or something happens, he's like the butt of the joke. But like, unless he's been on your franchise, I just don't think you understand like how available he is on a regular game-to-game basis and like how much he's contributing out there. This team this year would have been, completely screwed if he wasn't good. Like there's no chance of this trade happening if he has a bunk year. And they like that the dominoes that affects the entire other league is crazy. So I'm gonna have to reflect more on like a specific game and moment, but I gotta be real. Even with the short tenure, truly one of my favorite Clippers, like one of my favorite to watch. And like outside of Kawhi, easily the best of this era.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people he's ahead of Paul George, mostly, which body of work aside, I think mostly has to do with the fact that Paul George's tenure ended really weird with like a podcast and stuff like that. A lot of people saying 50 points against Detroit, the Snow Angel. Someone pointed out on Twitter when the whole team was rocking the nines or what, I feel like he's had like 5 different shoes come out since he's been a Clipper, but like that whole, when it was like debuting the Harden 9 and the whole team wore it, like you saw, and I talked about this a little bit off top, like everyone talked about how the Clippers don't have a leader and like who's leading this locker room. It was the guy organizing off-season workouts and like team building stuff and after practice pick and roll practice. Like I loved so much of the off-court stuff that he did because it was, like you said, I didn't know he was going to do all that. I was kind of conditioned to not like James Harden. And then when you see it, you're like, shit, he cares.
The other thing that can't be overstated is like his hand in Zoo's development, especially offensively. Like Zoo never gets to this level. Zoo is not, like we know how good he is and like his potential and everything, but like I don't think he's like this darling around the league that teams are offering like a first and a young player for without James Harden and that sort of chemistry. And that's one of those things that I hope, like, I don't know if you guys have already talked about Garland in the pick and roll, but I hope that that's one of those things where they can kind of like talk about, sort of what was effective and how that worked. And maybe they can get some one-on-one sort of practice stuff going, outside of team workouts and stuff to sort of build that chemistry back up.
Adam, your favorite Harden memory?
Probably game 4. Yeah. Probably game 4 against Dallas, where he hit like 4 straight floaters to win that game after Paul George ran out of steam. That was huge. The 50-point game against Detroit, which kind of turned the season around last year and got them on the 18-3 run after just losing that game by 20 in Phoenix the night before. But yeah,
that like turned the whole season around. Like,
he hit 55 this year against Charlotte. I mean, he's a really good Clipper. He's an all-time Clipper. In a very short period of time, I thought he more than lived up to the expectations.
Yes. Someone in the chat is very anti-John Collins, which there's been some wild takes in the chats today. Will, some guy said on Adam's stream that he would rather have Brook Lopez take threes than Zoo take hook shots.
What?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. All right, Mick Jones, you're annoying, so you're getting put on timeout. Yeah, so the pick and roll stuff is like, I'm not saying that Darius Garland is the system or a better point guard than James Harden. When it comes to the pick and roll, they're kind of comparable.
No. And I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet. Chuck and I were talking about this last night, but I mean, like, for the Cavs too, like, this is a great move if you're looking at the landscape of the East and, you don't have the Celtics like in their same regular tier of contention this season. Obviously the same deal with the Pacers. This is a win now move. This is a short window move, no way around it, but like it does really lift your ceiling in a conference that's, a little wider than the West, especially given where the Clippers are at in the standings already.
Well said.
It's a good move.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. Yes.
Short term.
Adam Pitbull 6098 is asking, can we get Bob Schmidt's take on including the second rounder, which is very funny. But you talked with the Fear the Fro guys, right?
Yeah, supposed to go on with him later. Yeah, I think he was a little bit concerned with the move for the Cavs side, and I'm seeing a lot of that right now. They're not sure how this is going to work out for them. I think there's question marks because, so does this mean they're giving James Harden the extension? Because he can't get it right now anyways. So if they can't give it to him now, it's a handshake deal. And we'll just see how things go the rest of the season. And then this summer,
famously fond of those.
Yeah, this summer they'll revisit that. I do think James Harden can make them better right now, but it could take more time. I don't know if it's going to be as much of a seamless transition just because he is the system. He is your offense. That changes things, especially when you have Donovan Mitchell next to him. I'm sure they'll figure it out. In the Eastern Conference, like, they do have a good chance. They're like 2 games back of the 2 seed right now. So they could easily shoot up the Eastern Conference quickly here. And he's also very good with big men, as we know.
Yeah, I need to watch more of his highlights. I haven't watched a lot of Cavs games, obviously. But the stats look to be comparable.
Yeah, the efficiency is pretty similar, like just giving it a cursory glance. Obviously, different availability so far with Garland, both toes now cooked seemingly.
Cooked? You're going fully cooked?
Well, he had surgery on the left one and now it's the right one.
Yes, that is what the situation is.
Just get bigger shoes, man.
He's like, I've been wearing. He's like, I think I'm a 7. They're like, Darius,
get him some steel toes.
For people who are like, why'd we take on that risk? It's like, you're not getting Garland for James Harden if he was playing 82 games a season. Like there's some downside. There has to be, or else they weren't giving him up.
Yeah, of course.
But he's 26, and it's at least a different toe than one he had surgery on.
And look at what Yoshi Balboa is saying. He's played about 80% of the games in his career.
Yeah. He just played 75 last season when they won 64 games. Had one of their best seasons ever.
And he's been out for 9 games. He's going to miss tomorrow. People are asking if he's going to play against the Clippers tomorrow. That will not happen. He's on the injury report for an actual injury, is also why I don't think it'll happen.
I don't know if Harden will either, if they get done with the physicals in time for that to happen.
Dude, there's
I don't think so.
Yeah, and like from a coaching perspective, would you want their first appearance to be the day after? Like, no practice, like just go play an NBA game with these guys. I don't know if the runway's that short. Yeah, okay. This person, the more I sit with it, the more I like it. Garland is definitely a small step down this year, but as a future asset, we definitely won the deal. Yeah. And on the defensive side of the ball, he's undersized. He tries at least. So like, yeah, okay. No one knows the timeline. Kind of unclear, right? Adam, did you find anything with that you've been working like all day?
Yeah, let me text Lawrence Frank with the timeline.
But if these conversations have been going on for weeks, I mean, initially that Garland injury, like I was looking at some Cavs stuff and they were thinking about 10 days. It happened on the 19th, so we're not too far outside of that. But I wonder if you're like maybe keeping him on ice, or I don't know.
They were treating it like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
On Cleveland side. Unrelated to the toe that had surgery on it last year. So they also, Bob Schmidt told me that, they're not that forthright about injuries in Cleveland. Like, well, it turns out no fan base feels like their team is.
Except for the Warriors? Did they put out didn't they for a while, they were putting out weirdly detailed breakdowns of why Steph was out? I might be wrong about that.
Was this after KD did his Achilles?
I think it was. Yeah, people for the most part are pretty hyped. Yeah, Himothy's pointing out that we have yet another guy who played for the Clippers, whose father played for the Clippers, which is pretty funny. Someone's saying they hope James doesn't play because he might drop 50 on us. That'd be kind of funny.
Very real possibility.
And they've already played their game in Cleveland this year, so if James doesn't play tomorrow, they're not catching him unless they're in the finals.
Is there any cool nicknames for Garland? He's a Clip now, so he deserves one. That's actually a great question.
I saw on his basketball reference DG the PG, but that's not that good.
I do not like that. DG the PG. We'll work
anything
on that.
PG related right now with this team.
Yeah, do we think
soon.
Colby White's next?
Yeah, they could still end up getting one of these guys that we were talking about initially to back up James Harden very recently. Kobe White, Colin Sexton, one of these type of guys. It's possible, but a lot of teams I think are after Kobe White. That's going to be tough.
Yeah. What's funny too is what I like about this trade especially is this doesn't hamstring any other moves. It's a 1-for-1. So it's we didn't lose Bogey. We didn't lose anything else that kind of be pieced together for Kobe White or I think I'd want Colin Sexton. But
there's still got to be, doesn't there still got to be a 3 out, 1 in to convert the two ways, or a 2-for-1 and cut a guy?
Oh, they're still going to have to do something with CP3.
Yeah. Ask him to come back. No one wants CP3, which is the issue.
It's a problem.
The deadline's in 9 hours. And there hasn't been a single rumor of anyone really wanting CP3.
Would the Timberwolves poke around, like on a min?
They'll need somebody if they're going to do that big trade for Giannis. Cesar Cuevas is hyped on the second round pick. Oh yeah, there could be a 3-team trade. Bulls get Jakob, Clippers get Kobe White, Bogey, CP3, and Kobe Brown shipped somewhere else. Sure.
That Jakob contract is interesting.
How much money does he make?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, it's
like $27 million over the next 3 seasons.
What?
Well, meanwhile,
they traded to get him.
Yeah, I feel like they had to retain him.
Yeah, they gave up assets to get him out of San Antonio.
Jesus, 3 years, $84 million deal.
And at the time, people were even like, even hopeful people were like skeptical, but like you can't give up assets and then like not retain the guy.
That's so much money. If you ever complain about Zubac again, if anyone watching this complains about Ivica Zubac,
just wait like 2 seconds.
Yeah, just wait 2 seconds.
Somebody in the chat will complain.
And look at Jakob Poeltl's contract and just take a breath. It could be a lot worse.
We could have had Anthony as our perfect backup.
Oh yeah, your guy Simons is gone.
Until recently, wasn't Marvin Bagley making more than Ivica Zubac till Zubac's contract extension kicked in? Like,
yeah.
I have no idea why people think we need to trade Zubac. It's crazy.
Yeah. We're not getting Ja Morant, which is great. A lot of people were saying that they wanted Ja, but I only wanted Ja Morant if it was with 2026 first round pick attached to it. We got a this year first round pick for Ja Morant. That would have been great. But outside of that, that's a nightmare. I like this a lot more than Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think taking on that Ja contract, I want Memphis's pick and Utah's pick.
Give us everything.
Yeah. I might want 2 first-round picks to take on the Ja Morant contract. I wonder how much they try to get off of it. People just realizing how little Zubac's is making.
Yeah.
Chat puts in his contract.
I put it in the chat. He makes like $20 million a year. Nico, my cousin, is here. Great name. Said we got to shorten the list of who gets a bobblehead moving forward. I'm actually on board with this.
But how would you not give James a bobblehead?
It would be something else. It'd be fake beard. You'd do fake beard giveaway.
Well, Harden's is like February 22nd, his bobblehead night.
Yeah, what's going to happen with those? Those will just
give them out.
End up in the ocean, do they?
It's a good question.
I mean,
Haiti?
I hope not. That'd be terrible. Renegade saying we're not done making moves as it seems.
Well, we're definitely not, because we still got to get spots for Miller and Sanders. So
yeah,
at the bare minimum, we got to do that.
If they can't move CP3, they just have to waive him, right?
Yeah,
open up a slot.
I thought there was a weird thing with waiving him because of isn't there a minimum threshold of guys under actual contract you need, or am I making that up? Because I thought there was an issue with CP3's. Keith Smith tweeted about this, who knows a lot, about how there's kind of some wonkiness with just waiving CP3.
You might be right,
but I can't remember it fully. Damn. So now we're going to do a probably larger debrief about Harden as a whole when we have a sit-down pod. Do we think the Clippers win tomorrow? Now how are do we think they play better because it's more settled, or it's kind of
it's going to be the same starting lineup, right?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they win.
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's not get out rebounded on the offensive boards by one guy, and let's not lose second chance points by 100%.
I was glad they didn't quit on the game yesterday because they probably should have lost by 35 after the first quarter. They could have just gave up.
Dude, Will and I were watching it. Will, I don't know about you. After that Harden news, I was just like,
like the game sort of ceased.
Yeah, it felt like when a flashbang goes off in a movie and it's just like, it's just quiet. And like, I was like, oh, okay. Like,
it was really overwhelming. Like there's too much happening right now. The game definitely faded into the background.
Yes. The Clippers do have like some tough games coming up. They have the Cavs tomorrow, the Kings on Friday, and then before the break, it's a 3-4. It's at the Wolves and then a back-to-back against the Rockets on the 10th and the 11th, which is kind of a rough way to go into the break. Like we might be limping a little bit.
We went through the schedule at the beginning of the season. We were like, this Rockets back-to-back could be a problem. Circle this.
It probably will be. All right. People's takes are coming in. Yeah, like the health works out or it doesn't. You can still get off the contract at the end of it if it's not too terrible. People want Kawhi traded.
I just think for the player that he is, for what you're giving up in James Harden, I think you have to take that risk. Because if it goes well with Darius Garland, like it's a 2-time All-Star and he's young. It's just really rare to have an opportunity for a guy like that.
DJ's playing tomorrow? Someone just tweeted? Shit. He's not on the report.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Derek Jones Jr. is playing tomorrow.
I guess we are winning every game.
Looks like we're going undefeated for the way out, boys. Thank you for doing some producer work for us, Terry.
I'm not seeing that.
Go to Tomer's Twitter.
Tomer had it?
Yeah. He's not even on the injury report.
Okay, because I'm looking at the Clippers PR.
Are you blocked by Tomer?
I could be. I'm just looking at the Clippers PR and I haven't seen anything for it yet.
They don't know how to run their Twitter account. Tomer is saying, in surprising news, Derek Jones Jr. is no longer on the Clippers injury report and is available to play tomorrow versus the Cavs.
Well, that'll help Chris Dunn a lot. I think part of the reason he's been struggling so much with his shot as of late could be he's starting to tire out from playing way more minutes since DJ's been out again.
What's the starting lineup look like? Is like when Derek Jones is back and fully healthy, is he relegated to the bench now? Because Collins has been so good?
Yes.
I mean, it was before, right?
Yeah. Well, did he get hurt during the like ramp up period from his other knee injury? You know what I mean? Like
he came back for like 4 games, 5 games, and then Boston got him again.
Fuckers.
They ain't getting Zoo though, all right? You're not getting Zoo from us because of that.
Okay, yeah. So Derek Jones Jr. off the bench. And this, because if you add Derek Jones Jr. kind of into the bigger picture for the next couple of years, right? Because he's on a $10 million deal. Which I think it's a contract year, or is next year his contract year?
Next year. He's not expiring this year.
Yeah. So like if you're looking at the year after next year, if you get Derek Jones Jr. and John Collins re-signed, you got Darius Garland, Derek Jones Jr., John Collins, Ivica Zubac on the books. That's not a bad. I'm not saying those are world beaters, but for your like little foundation you're building, that's not bad.
That plus 2 max spots potentially. I mean,
it's back. Yeah, it's back to being high level, competitive team that has flexibility that can still go out there and make another big move when the opportunity arises.
Someone said streaming during the Pro Bowl. Big risk here, guys. Great bit. Thank you, Clipper Nick.
Is that on?
When the fuck is that shit? Yeah, I mean, hype for Derek Jones Jr. to be back. Man, there's been so many games where we've all three said, like, this is a game where you missed DJ. Like, we need a guy who can defend and who can shoot. Is it a team option for Derek Jones Jr.?
I mean, there's no way they wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah. No, that's just not. It's just a straight up
10
mil. Damn. What does his next contract look like? 17?
Probably just bumped up to the new mid-level, like 15 million.
Yeah, like 4 for 60. Well, how old is he?
28 or 29?
Yeah, maybe not.
Ooh, maybe a min. He's 28 this year. Yeah. So signing a 30-year-old to a 3-year mid-level contract doesn't feel bad.
We're in good shape, guys.
I feel like we're in good shape long term. I'm like
10 toes down.
I'm 10. First of all, it's always 10 toes down. But they stuck with the plan. It actually seems to be coming to fruition at somewhat. Like, I like it. Pitbull asking what's worse, the Pro Bowl or the All-Star game?
The Pro Bowl.
It's the Pro Bowl.
It's the Pro Bowl. Guys,
Pro Bowl is a flag football game now.
And guys opt out. Justin Fields was asked if he wanted to play in the Pro Bowl this year. He said no.
That's how Shadur got in?
Literally, yes. Like, it's the Pro Bowl by far. Yeah, Farty Cakes is chugging the Kool-Aid. It's gonna be. I'm absolutely chugging the Kool-Aid. I'm bummed that Harden's gone. I'm not celebrating the fact that Harden is gone, but I'm just like, I like it. I like that the moves are being manifested.
So where, like, does this lock us into 9-10?
That's a great question. I think so, just purely from there's a figuring it out period with a new point guard, and we just can't. It's not like we've stacked wins, right? Like, probably 9-10. Adam, like to end the season? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more likely, but I think there's a shot to get in the 7-8 matchup.
Yeah, shot to get into the matchup for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess it depends too on what the Warriors do, if they end up doing anything at the deadline.
Get in the 7-8, win it, become the 7th seed, take on the 2 seed, hope it's not Denver. That's my plan.
I'm fine with that plan. More bogey minutes now? I don't know, man. He didn't get any minutes last night.
Or the game before. People thought it was crazy. I was like, I don't know how he cracks the rotation after Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders have been doing this. Like,
yeah, he shouldn't. No disrespect to Bogey, but it's like it's time for the young guys to get some run.
he could still be moved.
Yes, and he probably should be moved.
I guess if the Warriors don't make a move, we could get into 7-8. 3.5 games right now.
That's not bad. Kesper Fit asking, which would you take? Derrick Jones Jr. second for Ben Mathurin, or Derrick Jones Jr. 2 pick swaps and Kobe Brown for Kobe White? The first one. No pick swaps for Kobe White.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I like both guys, but I like Ben Mathurin a lot.
Yeah. I do like Kobe White as a prospect, but not for two. Yeah.
We're DJ away to the 6-7 seed. Let's go.
Like that. I like the energy. The energy's good.
If we got into 6, that'd be absolutely insane. Impossible.
It feels impossible. Aren't we like 6.5 games out?
The schedule gets too hard. They'd have to make another 16-3 run.
We're 6.5 games out of 6-7.
Yeah.
7 games out of 5, though. If you really want to dream. We've been asked this a couple times. We're playing Cleveland tomorrow. Are traded players eligible? I don't think so.
I mean, it would depend on how quickly they can do the physicals and stuff, but I sincerely doubt it.
And again, like I said, I don't think you want them playing with no practice. Like,
see where you're at.
I don't
level check. Quick vibe check.
I think the Clippers would stall the trade before knowing they have to go up against James Harden tomorrow after just trading him. Like,
yeah,
you drag your feet on the trade. Somebody wants to take on a guy that was just moved while you're still without your side of the trade.
Yeah, I like this question. How much time is fair for Garland to get comfortable? So after he comes back, let's call it, I don't know, he comes back in a week or something.
5 games.
You're giving him 5. Well, there's so many in March. Like, he's gonna probably get comfortable pretty quick. But I think you got to get how many games did it take John Collins to get comfortable?
Guys, he signed through 2028. How many games? How much time do you give him to get comfortable? Like
for this season, Adam.
For this season.
What is this? I just don't. He's a long-term piece. It looks like.
And I think it's however many games that John Collins took to get comfortable. John Collins had to figure out he's on a new team. It doesn't matter if that makes sense.
Yeah, what are you going to do if he doesn't get comfortable in the first month? What are you going to do? The trade deadline is passed. He's long-term on this team.
Takesy-backsies.
Yeah, did we do a takesy-backsies clause? Because that might actually be really helpful should things not go the Clippers' way. The takesy-backsies clause is key. Someone saying James Harden can play till he's 40. Probably. Clippers got worse in the short term. I don't know. How much?
I would agree with that.
How much worse though? Not like drastically, I don't think.
It's unfair to be like, oh, they didn't go 13-3 the next 16 games, so that means they lost the trade because they were able to do that with James Harden. It's like, well, the schedule is getting tougher moving forward. So they were never going to be able to replicate going 16-3 over the next 19 games or 13-3 over the next 16 games. It doesn't mean they necessarily got worse. It means the schedule got tougher.
Yeah, but Will, you're saying there's a bit of a step down short term.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He's got to get comfortable.
I think it could be more of a step down on games without Kawhi. Games with Kawhi, I think Garland's a really easy fit, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Nev Jr. asking, what's Garland's main issues? Is it really his toes? Or is he just scrawny and gets injured? Well, he does have a toe injury right now, and he's just undersized. So the defense
Somebody drop the feet picks. We got to investigate.
No one drop any feet picks. I mean, his issue is that he's an undersized guard, so defense is harder. And that's not a new issue, right? Like, that's his largest issue on defense. He tries, as we've talked about.
Mark Medina is saying there's some optimism he'll be ready to play with the Clippers after the All-Star break.
I don't know. Mark Medina was posting weird crypto wins the other week. So what do we think of DG as a passer? The assist to turnover is not that good, and he's shorter without a lob threat. He's really good in the pick and roll. If you look at the pick and roll numbers, which I'll just put in the chat, they're like genuinely they're comparable to James Harden's. I don't know. Will, do you think the lob threat thing is that big of an issue?
What do you mean? What do you mean he has a lob threat?
Right. I think they're saying because it's not like
he has multiple lob threats.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I think they're just
the assist to turnover ratio. Are you talking about raw assist to turnover or like a specific segmented thing? Because when we looked at the pick and roll numbers, his assist to turnover ratio was slightly better than James's.
Yeah, his turnover frequency is lower.
Or
wait, let me double check that.
It's better than 2-1.
Right.
It's all 7-3.
Are we calling that not that good?
I mean, you're assist to turnover ratio king. It's your call.
2-1 is the floor, but obviously. But if you're above the floor, you're not bad.
I mean,
not that good is anything below that. What's John Collins's?
God, not good. Let me actually just look that up.
His assist to turnover ratio is slightly better than James Harden's is.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, so
what are we saying?
John Collins is one.
Although I do appreciate you bringing up that stat because it is the most important in looking at a guard.
John Collins is a negative for assist to turnover ratio. He averages 1 assist. He averages 1.3 turnovers.
Let's go.
It was worse to start the year. I think it was the reverse 2-1.
Yeah, because Ty Lue was like, I think you can dribble. And he cannot dribble.
You're a basketball player. You can dribble, right?
Clipper Nick saying Zoo's going to turn into Mobley. He can feel the potential. Sure. I like the optimism.
Zoo's going to turn into Super Zoo. There's no comparison.
He's going to grow his hair out. Is Garland hurt right now? Yes. He has a toe injury. What is the official injury, actually, just so people stop asking?
There was some discrepancy
right
on this because it says great toe.
This is big toe.
It is his big toe, but they call it a great toe in one of the injury reports. I saw Tomer report it.
I have it. That's so funny. Right great toe sprain. Is that a Cleveland thing? Do they call them great toes instead of big toes?
He have an extra toe?
Maybe that's his problem. He has an extra toe.
You better shear that off.
Someone asked about his wiki feed. Y'all look up his wiki feed. I'm not looking up his wiki feed. You're a freak if you're dropping wiki feed references. Now we just kind of wait for the next trade to happen. Not on this live, of course, because that could take hours. But
yeah, we'll stay until it happens.
There's some other stuff to go down.
Well, like we said, at a bare minimum, they need to open up a roster spot. So,
right. Clipper Nick, Harden breaks my heart. We should be talking the longevity of the double bigs right now. Adam, what's the most recent numbers on the double bigs? I know you have the stats, which we do appreciate.
Justin Russo has also been pretty on it.
I think they went -6 yesterday, but in a game where you were down by 23 and everybody was getting beat up, that's really not that bad.
That's your best two-man lineup?
Ooh. We got Joel, I think just put this in the chat, said, look up Garland's stats when Donovan Mitchell doesn't play. So here's the last 10 games that Darius Garland has played without Donovan Mitchell. Is screen sharing at all? That looks kind of like shit. We got 40 points, 25 points. I mean, these aren't pretty solid numbers.
Oh, yeah.
29, 35,
so
26.
He's averaging 27. He's
averaging 27 and 8 assists. Shooting at a 40% clip. 2.8 turnovers.
There's a reason he's a two-time All-Star. I mean, he's
He'll
really good.
Done.
I also think, that's a big deal because him and Donovan Mitchell, not exactly just known for being, ball hawk defenders and dogs out there defensively. It was kind of a smaller backcourt. Not that Chris Dunn is big, but he can play big with his defense out there. I think that's a pretty good pairing.
Yeah,
he's a grower on D. That's Chris Dunn's legacy.
Chris Dunn is a grower. Yeah. Now, man, a pregame segment talking about defensive guys called growers and showers would be so fucking funny. Okay. Fanat Art saying this is a good trade. You guys don't see it now, but you'll see.
We've all said it's a good trade.
I think they're talking about the chat, is what I'm assuming, because I came on here talking about how pretty hyped I was. If you're listening to this later, we're gonna put this out as an audio pod, and you want to find us at live, it's youtube.com/@Clippers Podcast. It's fun. People are saying,
were you as gobsmacked as Charles and I when the Mannix report first kind of broke the air yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was right before third quarter or right as halftime.
It was right before the half, yeah.
Yeah, it was shocking also because it came from Mannix, so I wasn't sure how much to put into it at first, but he got it. He was right. Apparently they were in advanced talks to get things done less than 24 hours later. But honestly, Garland's one of those guys that I've been looking at for a while because Cleveland Cavalier fans, with his contract, with Donovan Mitchell, and them having a smaller backcourt, that's been talked about as one of their fatal flaws on the team. Like, can you have both these guys together in the backcourt and make it work? Now, their front court was so good, and Evan Mobley's, a generational athlete at that size. He can make up for a lot. But there was always talk of whether or not this is Dame and CJ McCollum, and it can only get you so far having a smaller backcourt with two guys that aren't elite defenders. So I've always wondered if they were going to make a move. And I think before last season, there was a lot of talk of moving Darius Garland. But then they won 64 games, top seed the Eastern Conference. And then he gets hurt right at the end and only plays 3 games against Indiana in the second round. So it's kind of been on my mind for a while, but I think it's definitely worth the risk, even with the injuries, when you're only giving up a guy that's not in your long-term plans anyways in James Harden for somebody that, if he can stay healthy, can be good in the short term and the long term.
The Mannix thing is funny because when I saw that too, I was like, this feels like bullshit.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I know. No, not disrespecting Mannix, but it's just not the guy you would think to break that. Watch Garland game breakdowns, and the guy's very good, giving effort on defense but limited. JVG's a help for that too, right? Like we got Van Gundy, who can help him be in the right spot.
Let's not get crazy.
I'm not saying he's going to turn into Chris the Shower Dunn, or the Grower Dunn, but like it's just good to have that background, right? Like, at least we have someone on the staff who is shown to be good at coaching defense.
But like his defensive effort, like that's not really the issue. Like he's just small. Like he's small. He's in the right position. He does the right things. He doesn't get caught ball watching. Like he's solid. All of his defensive metrics are really good. They've been down this year, but they have been top shelf the last couple of seasons. Darius Garland on the perimeter.
Oh, I also, one thing we haven't talked about yet is like, I also like that we're getting a young guy who's had good coaching too. Like I'm an Atkinson fan. Like I think that he's been in winning scenarios, and he's been with good coaches before. So it's not like he's going to have some culture shock in some new thing. Like it's not a guy coming from a losing franchise or someone who already has like sort of a reputation for uncoachability.
Yeah, or a shit ton of gun charges.
I don't know that there's charges, sir.
Sorry, I thought there were charges. We got the youth, we got the energy. Yeah, like it feels good. That point about Atkinson is great. I think most Clippers fans were bummed when he left the staff. Because didn't he go? He left to go to Golden State before he became a head coach, obviously, basically for like kind of a role that they thought was like coach in waiting for Golden State. Because he was like an assistant coach with a weirder, like a heavier title. And then he went to Cleveland. So yeah, good coaching pedigree for sure.
Yeah, after he was like ousted by the Nets for turning that organization around.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
that was like he got done pretty dirty there for like,
for trying to win basketball games.
Yeah.
Didn't
he make D'Lo an All-Star?
I think so.
Didn't he get D'Lo an All-Star nod?
Yeah. Adam, what do you got up your sleeves?
Do you guys want to see one of these defensive charts that I spoke of with Darius Garland? This is just last season. Like he's good. He's just small. But you have Ivica Zubac behind him. You have Chris Dunn next to him. Like they can make it work. I think that's realistic. I don't think they're going to have some major drop off defensively going from James Harden to Darius Garland, who I think is objectively a better defender overall. But Harden is a better post defender because of his size. But how often are we seeing that?
Right. That's like the one thing teams want to avoid from James Harden on defense. So they managed to avoid it.
Yeah.
This is funny. As a big boxing fan, it's always fun to see Chris Mannix in the basketball. That is fair. Someone saying we should trade Zoo to get younger. Don't know about that. Who are we trading? We're trading Zoo for a baby then. That's the only way we're really getting younger. I like it. Awesome bringing out the charts. You know when you get chart Adam or Zapruder Adam, things are happening. Things are in motion.
I think it's kind of a false narrative, and I didn't expect him to be this good defensively either. But you look at a lot of the advanced stuff, he's been more than solid. It's just he's slight of frame. It's not Trae Young. Trae Young is a guy who's small and doesn't give effort on that end and doesn't have good defensive principles. This is not that.
Someone asking, how long is Garland's contract? He is on the books until through 27-28. So he's off the books or extended after 27-28. And if he's not good, then we can move on. All right, we're getting a bunch of trades due for picks and play Yannick takes, so we should probably wind this down.
It's our music.
Any other final I think we might do an episode on Thursday or something, but just Adam, Will, any final thoughts on the weird 36 hours we've all had?
Bittersweet. Overall, really good, but it will be sad that James is no longer suiting up in Clippers uniform.
Yeah, I don't want to tell my little nephew about it. I'm kind of bummed, to be honest. Adam?
I mean, if you trace the trade going back to how they got James, what they gave up a 2028 first-round pick and a 2029 pick swap with Philadelphia and Rocco and Batum, like turning all that into a 26-year-old two-time All-Star at the guard position that granted has some risk on with the injury stuff, but that's pretty darn good asset management, I would say, overall, especially having to pivot when it wasn't their idea to move James to end up with Darius Garland here. Feels like a win. Hopefully he can stay healthy.
Well said. It is like, for an unexpected trade, I think it could have been a lot worse. If you don't like Lawrence Frank, I don't really understand. Like, it's hard to defend Lawrence Frank being bad after this move. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you don't like Lawrence Frank, you probably also don't like James Harden. So, like, he helped you out. I'm feeling pretty good. We're going to go out on this comment. Thank you, DP Music and Vinyl. Zoo is amazing. The slander at Zoo is crazy. Awesome. We'll be back with a full non-live episode on Thursday, probably. Thank you for hanging out in the stream. We definitely appreciate it. Will, where are people who are listening? Where can they drop any reviews?
Yeah. If you're listening to this on audio, you can leave a little review over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But you missed out on catching this live, which you could have done over at youtube.com. That's at Clippers Podcast. Subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications so you know when we're doing stuff like this, because Clippers still not done ahead of the trade deadline.
Yes. If something significant happens, we'll go live again tonight. Significant being the key word. Thank you for hanging out. Hope everyone has a good rest of your night. Welcome, Darius.